From Hampshire Field on the campus of Blair Academy in Blairstown, New Jersey, the Strive Network welcomes you to live coverage of New Jersey high school lacrosse. It's the final game of the 2017 campaign as the Blair Buccaneers take on the Kittatinny Cougars. And with that, we say good afternoon, everyone. Alongside my broadcast partner, Simon Rose, I'm Matt Nelson. Glad you could join us here on this overcast Saturday afternoon in northwestern New Jersey. Well, Simon, for both of these teams, the playoff season is over. However, a win today would certainly get these two teams on the right track.
Yeah, it certainly would be a good to finish the season with a win. Talking to both coaches before the game, both teams feeling pretty good about how they have played in the latter part of the schedule. Blair Academy specifically, they feel like they're really starting to hit their stride. Obviously, the season ends now, and if they feel that if they played a little bit better early on in the year, they would have had a really remarkable season. But in the recent history of this Blair Academy team, they've been playing pretty well.
They've won 4 of their last 5, and their record is 7-7 coming in. As for Kittatinny, the Cougars are 7-9, and again, both teams coming off playoff losses. This, the final game of their season before they head into graduation and then ultimately the summer vacation part of the schedule. Let's take a look at our Strive Spotlight for the Blair Academy Buccaneers. It's on the sophomore S.C. Pasternak out of Short Hills, New Jersey. 30 goals and 12 dimes on the season, and certainly rocking up the stat sheet as well with the draws and the ground balls. 6 hat tricks as well, and based on what we saw against Phillipsburg last week, Essie is certainly a heck of an athlete.
Yeah, it definitely is, and young as well, and it's good to see a sophomore have success. That's the kind of girl that you need to build around. She's gotten good experience here this year, and she's obviously had success, so you can only expect more as the years go on for Blair Academy. Essie Pasternak, definitely a playmaker for this team.
We move now into our Coach's Corner, and again for Blair Academy, the spotlight is on Allison Dowie. She goes by Allie for short. Her second season out of upstate New York, and the former Bates College lax player looking to help lead this program to a season where they could potentially finish over the 500 mark with a win today. Again, 7-7 coming in on what would move them into 8-7, and in pretty good chance to get ready for the 2018 campaign. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both programs. I guess we're not going to do that. We're going to step aside.
Why don't you read them through?
All right, let's take a look at them real quick. So for Blair Academy, this is in no particular order. Cleo Bersani will be in the cage. Emily Dehan up front, along with Kate Antonelli. Korea Benanti will get the start in the backfield. Nia Shaw as well. Victoria Benanti also playing defense. Caroline Papard, the post grad heading to Navy, will be the midfielder, along with S.A. Pasternak, our Strive Spotlight. Emily Mooney joins Pasternak in the midfield. Jordan Humphrey, the freshman, will play up front. Chloe Rayer on the defensive side, and Abby Arturi, the senior, will be starting as an attackman. As for the Cougars of Kittatinny, again, no particular order. Kaylee Van Wingerden will get the start up front. She's a junior wearing number 3. Casey Smith will get the start in the midfield along with Lexus Pabst. Erin Douglas will start in the backfield. Tara Douglas as well playing defense. Katie Callahan in the midfield. Abby Schwartz will start as a defenseman. Taylor Cooper will get the start up front. Katie Albinski in the backfield. Callan Smith, a junior out of nearby Freedon, New Jersey, will play at midfield to start the contest. Beth Mackey in the backfield, and Kenny Smith, the netminder for this Cougar squad that comes in with a 7-9 record. They were 4-2 in the NJIGLL. That is the North Jersey Interscholastic Girls Lacrosse League, and Kittatinny plays in the Colonial North Division. That is certainly a mouthful of a league. Head coach of the Cougars is first-year head coach Michelle Lugener out of Ramapo College, not too far of a drive from Blair Academy, and the assistant is Emily Murray. There you see the Cougars in the final team huddle before they take the field, wearing the road blue uniforms. with white letters and numbers, and the Buccaneers in the final team huddle for the 2017 campaign, looking to end their season on a high note. Game time temperature, 59 degrees, overcast skies here in Blairstown, New Jersey. Certainly a bit of a hot week coming in, but the temperatures have cooled off, and they're going to feel this way in terms of being in the upper 60s to low 70s between now and weekend's end. Some good weather nonetheless. And we are just about to get ready to go for our final broadcast of the 2016-17 academic season.
Just a disclaimer on the scoreboard here. We're going to have our clock start at 15 minutes, so it counts down. That is so we don't have to count it up. So at 50, the first 10 minutes of each half, we won't have the time. You'll just have to announce it for the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll start the clock at 15 minutes to get a more accurate countdown as opposed to counting up.
25-minute halves in girls' lax. So thank you to Simon for keeping our viewers posted on that. The aforementioned Callan Smith will take the opening draw for Kittatinny. And for Blair Academy, it'll be Essie Pasternak. The Buccaneers wearing their traditional home white unis with navy blue letters and numbers outlined in gray.
Yeah, one thing about Pasternak is she fills up the stat sheet, including those draw controls. So important, the draw controls in the sport of lacrosse. And not only does she control them well, but she scores goals as well.
Pasternak coming in with 34 DCs on the season, looking to help lead her ball club to their 8th victory of the season. And we are underway from Blair Academy. Kittatinny wins the opening draw control. It's Lexus Pabst who gets the ball cleanly in her stick, but not before the Buccaneers try to force the ball away from her. Kittatinny going from left to right on your screen to begin the game. This is Cooper, a senior captain, running behind net. Cooper on the doorstep with an on-angled shot. She scores. Taylor Cooper, with not even 30 seconds into this game, comes away with her 16th goal of the season, and Kittatinny draws first blood, 1-0.
Yeah, how about a good start for Kittatinny here? Cooper, you see the little rotate over to the far post, and Cooper took advantage and just slipped it in near side.
That goal only took 26 seconds. That might be the one of the fastest goals we've seen here in the Strive Network all season long, as Cooper, who is committed to Albertus Magnus.
Where's that?
I believe that's in Connecticut. D3. Make that 2-0 for Kittatinny on draws as Smith comes away with it. Good pressure from behind by Caroline Papard for the Buccaneers. Papard, the lone post grad for Blair, out of the Long Island, New York area. She's from Garden City. A loose ball inside the 8. It's scooped up by the Buccaneers. Running away with it is Pasternak, so it's a cost turnover and ground ball for Essie. Emily Mooney with possession for Blair. Mooney makes her way to the right side before dumping it off behind net for Abby Arturi. Here's Emily Dehan. Blair Academy going from right to left on your monitor. Dehan's pass in front to Papard is loose. Still loose. They fight for it. Goal line extended before a whistle comes in. Nice job by the netminder for the Cougs. Kennedy Smith getting her stick in there. Smith, the lone D1 commit for Kittatinny, heading to Coastal Carolina. And if you weren't with us earlier in the week, Simon and I were joking about some of our most unique names for a mascot. Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers. That reminds me, Simon, what is the most unique name for a mascot that you've ever heard of?
The Chanticleers has got to be up there. And I'm not going to ask you again because I know you're going to know the answer of what a Chanticleer is. In fact, you taught me a little thing on that last broadcast. It's a rooster, right? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Another steal, this time for Blair Academy. Good job by Pasternak getting her stick involved. 1-0 Kittatinny as we approach 22 and a half remaining in the first.
Let's see, the Golden Gophers. That's a weird one. It's not the
Not
weirdest.
necessarily.
It's not the weirdest.
No.
It's just one that came to my mind.
Pass in front from Dehan, and she finds Mooney on the doorstep, and Emily Mooney ties the game at 1.
Yeah, take another look here. Good flash by Mooney. And she'll put that home 9 times out of 10, one-on-one with the keeper right in front of the cage.
Emily Mooney now with 31 goals on the season, and for Dehan, her team leading 34th assist. Dehan, a senior from nearby Long Valley, New Jersey. She will take her academic talents to the University of Michigan next year, the Wolverines, up in Big Ten territory. 1-1 game with 22:28 remaining in the first. And again, for those of you keeping an eye on our scoreboard, it is...
it will start at 15 minutes.
Right. 25-minute halves here in girls lacrosse as Mooney's pass is ricocheted in front by Kittatinny. The ball is free and scooped up by Casey Smith. Smith coming away with the ground ball and running across midfield left to right. Casey Smith will make her way behind the cage. Good defense that time by Victoria Benanti. Callan Smith. Top of the 8. Little stutter move. As Smith able to keep her balance. Kittatinny coming in having won 2 of their last 3 games, including a 13-10 decision at 8th seed Walwick. That was in the NJSIAA North Jersey Section 1, Group 1 State Sectional. The Coos coming in having lost at number 1 seed Settle Riverday just a few days ago, an 18-4 decision. Saddle Riverday, by the way, ranked number 13 in the NJ.com top 20 polls as we get a whistle and a foul. This will go against Blair Academy. And a free position coming up for Kittatinny. Callan Smith will do the honors from the far wing. Smith finds some space, but her shot is deflected by Cleo Bersani, the netminder for Blair Academy. Bersani coming in with 114 stops, make that 115. Pasternak running behind the cage for Blair Academy. And now Dehan. Dehan in front. Bouncing ball, and it bounces off the top of the cage for a goal. Kate Antonelli, the freshman, with her 32nd of the season, and Blair takes their first lead of the afternoon. It's 2-1 Buccaneers.
Just a brilliant finish from Antonelli. When you play on turf like this, you get a little bit more of favorable bounces from the turf, and she just went with a bounce shot. It's a tough one to stop if you're the keeper.
Antonelli, a two-sport athlete, also showing her prowess in field hockey. A pretty good first season for Antonelli, the Blairstown native, with 7 goals and 6 times in that sport.
Of course, her father, part of the athletic program here at Blair Academy, the famous wrestling coach of the famous Blair wrestling program.
Brian Antonelli, also the assistant AD here at Blair Academy. A little spin move by Pasternak as she looks to run away with it. Pasternak backing her way up towards the near side. It's 2-1 Blair as we have surpassed 5 minutes into this contest. Dehan behind the cage. Another pass in front for Papard, and she sneaks it through. Caroline Papard with her 25th goal of the season, and Blair takes a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, give up an early goal. That awoke the beast here in Blairstown as we get one more look at this one. Papard's first goal.
Emily Dehan showing her prowess with the stick, trying to find teammates who finish the job. Emily Dehan, certainly a force to be reckoned with.
And that's a play that we saw right there that maybe not is executed as well in the beginning of the season for Blair, but the chemistry is as high as it's been at the end of the season. Obviously, it's their last game, so they're playing together as they have all season long, but they're feeling good.
A foul committed by Blair Academy. Callan Smith draws the infraction. And Simon, we talk about this team gaining confidence throughout the course of the year. And we talked about what this team has done in the latter stages of the season as Smith takes a free position shot and finds it top shelf. Smith with an even 50 goals, and she makes it a one-goal game.
Yeah, this is a good finish here by Smith. You can see Bersani is on the right side of the post, as that's where she's supposed to be lined up, but obviously leaving a little bit too much room on the upper left side. And that really is a good finish right under the crossbar.
So before that free position goal by Callan Smith, we were talking about the confidence that this Blair Academy team has shown throughout the season, and most of that has not come into effect did not come into effect until the month of May, when the Bucks entered postseason play, an overtime win at Petty in the Prep A state quarterfinal. And it hasn't stopped since. This team certainly showing its prowess both offensively and defensively on multiple sides of the ball. Confidence within themselves to get themselves acclimated, not just for this game, but potentially for next year as well. A free position shot for the Bucks, and it's saved on the doorstep by Kennedy Smith. Outlet pass brought down by the Buccaneers. This is Chloe Rayer, number 23. Dehan with a turnaround shot. She misses wide. Good look from Dehan, but unable to find enough space to put that shot through. Emily Dehan with a season-high 4 goals, happening on 2 different occasions. But as we've seen throughout the season, including today, she is a pass-first, score-second player. Looks like Blair Academy just scored. We'll see if we can get the instant replay.
Here she is. Oh, man, that was...
Wow.
It was going wide and tipped in by the keeper.
So an own goal against Kittatinny.
You know, I don't think
the ball ricocheted off Kennedy Smith's stick.
Yeah, I don't think you give her an own goal on that because she's trying to make the save, and she did get a touch on it. It wasn't a deliberate own goal, so you still credit the goal to, I believe that was Pasternak.
What was it? Was
I think
it 15?
I believe it was 15,
okay,
if I'm not mistaken.
We'll see if we can get the official confirmation. Kittatinny ball trailing by 2 as we approach 17.5 remaining in the first. Van Wingerden. Point left. Van Wingerden still with it. Nia Shaw, check that. It's actually Chloe Rayer playing defense for Blair. Cooper. Cooper draws the double team. And works her way behind net. Cooper draws another double team and nearly lost the handle. Somehow Cooper still with it and finding Casey Smith on the right wing.
A good job by Blair. They learned their lesson from that very early goal by Cooper, scoring on the wraparound.
Callan Smith draws a foul, and Smith will have a free position. Callan Smith with over 100 goals in her scholastic career, 107 if you count the goal she scored earlier this afternoon. Casey Smith now with the ball. By the way, no relation to Callan nor Kennedy. Those last two happen to be sisters, with Kennedy being the oldest. She's a senior, Callan a junior. This is Beth Mackey, number 31, with her first touch. Now Van Wingerden. Van Wingerden trying to dodge her way around Rayer. Little pass in front. This is Pabst, and she flips it back to Cooper. 4-2 Blair Academy, 15:45 and counting in the first. Callan Smith knifing her way through the defenders and somehow sneaking that ball through the left side. Callan Smith with her second goal of the game. It's down to a one-goal game with 15:35 to go in the first.
Got ourselves a barn burner here. Goals galore in the first 9 minutes or so. Yeah, good work by Smith, who did wait to see if somebody was going to flash to pass first. She was looking pass first, but then when nothing was there, took matters into her own hands.
You've got a whistle shortly after the draw, and a redo coming up between Callan Smith and Blair Academy. Tough to see from this angle as to who's taking the draw for the Bucks. That's Emily Mooney for Blair. A loose ball coming up for it was Papard, and a whistle is in favor of the Cougars. Cougars with possession. Looking to tie the game at 4. The pass in front. Wow. I don't know how Abby Schwartz got her stick on that ball, but it may have ricocheted off the far pipe.
Wow, that was a incredible catch in stride there by Kittatinny, and they almost scored. It would have been a highlight reel play.
My goodness. Callan Smith comes in, trying to go for a takeaway against Mooney. Coming off the restart, Mooney gets it in front for Antonelli.
By the way, we are under 15 minutes, so that clock is live.
Jordan Humphrey finding her way through defenders, but that ball somehow ricocheted off the low side of the pipe. Dehan behind the cage. Dehan turning around and scoring. Emily Dehan with her 23rd goal of the season, and it's back to a 2-goal game. Blair leads 5-3.
Yeah, nicely done by Dehan here. Again, similar to Kittatinny's last goal. Looking for a flash in the middle and then taking matters into her own hands and scoring. Good sidewinding shot. Blair showing that they've got a number of girls that can put the ball in the back of the net. 5 goals already here in the first 10 minutes. 8 goals overall in the game.
Pretty rapid fire pace for both squads, particularly Blair Academy. At one point, the Buccaneers got off to a 3-0 run after Kittatinny scored the first goal of the afternoon. Coming out of the draw, it's batted down by the Cougs. And the final say is won by Mooney. Blair Academy running away with it. Antonelli drawing a double team, nearly a triple team, and she gets it off to Jordan Humphrey, who scores on the bouncer.
Yeah, the Buccaneers are trying to get out of their season here on a high note. Foot on the gas pedal, scoring goals. We take another look right off of the draw.
That's 2 goals in an 18-second span for the Buccaneers. The first from Dehan, and now this one coming from Jordan Humphrey, her 6th goal of the season. Pretty good crowd on hand for this afternoon's contest, as the fans have come from near and far to watch their children play in the final game of the 2017 campaign. Draw control for Kittatinny as Maddie Nowotnik gets credit for that one. Nowotnik, a sophomore attackman. So it's a 6-3 game for Blair Academy. Ties their largest lead at 3. And the pass is thrown away. That was off the stick of Abby Schwartz. So the Buccaneers will have it. As Mooney dumps it off for Papard. Antonelli, the ball ricocheting off the top of her stick as she falls to the turf. No whistle. And now a late whistle comes in. Antonelli getting up under her own power. Papard in front for Mooney. Dehan gets away from a defender, but misses a shot wide. 13 minutes remaining in the first. Blair 6, Kittatinny 3. Live New Jersey High School Lacrosse here on the Strive Network. Humphrey brings it back to S.E. Pasternak coming off the restart. Now Blair Academy going to try and take some time off the clock. And Simon, we've seen this time and time again. At this point, does the coaching strategy come into place now, or do you try and force that in later in the game?
In terms of taking the time off, I think at this point you're not thinking waste time. You're thinking let's get a good shot. Still the first half, plenty of time to go. We've seen Kittatinny score goals. So if you're Blair Academy, you got to keep your foot on the gas pedal, no doubt.
Foul is caused by Blair as the Bucks foul the Kittatinny goalkeeper Kennedy Smith. Smith had just 68 saves all last season. She has 188 coming into this afternoon's game. Nia Shaw trying to come away with the ball. It's taken away by the Cougars. Here's Van Wingerden. Van Wingerden backs up. Smartly done by the junior. Mackey. Mackey still with it. This is Geneva Loft, number 8, a freshman midfielder who for the most part has been on the junior varsity squad over at Kittatinny. Michelle Lugner, the head coach for the Cougs, giving her some late season playing time. This is a fairly young Cougar squad. 6 freshmen. And yet they will have 4 seniors graduating at season's end. So a lot to build on for next year. Katie Callahan dumps it off to Nowotnik. And Nowotnik, did she draw the foul? I believe so. And Nowotnik has a free position coming up with 10:20 remaining in the first. Bouncing ball blocked in front by Bersani. Cleo Bersani using that good IQ that she has been able to develop over the past couple of years and make good use of it. Here's Antonelli at the other end. Flag comes in. It's a free play for Blair. Antonelli somehow gets that shot off, but it goes wide. That is not easy, especially for a freshman, to get that shot off in front of a slew of defenders.
And at the very least, she wins a free position.
Yeah. Antonelli shoots, and it's blocked off the stick of Smith. Great save. Dehan, goal line extended. And now trots over to the far side. Dehan going one-on-one with Tara Douglas. Dehan still with it.
Very patient, seeing a couple of Blair players flash middle, nothing there. No reason to force it. You've got a 3-goal lead.
Papard back to Pasternak. 6-3 Blair, 9 minutes remaining in the first. Pasternak to Antonelli. Antonelli got the ball out of her stick, but Kennedy Smith was there to come up with the clean save. Kennedy Smith with 11 games where she has surpassed the 10-save barrier. And to Coastal Carolina next year to play Division I lacrosse. This is Nowotnik for Kittatinny. Nowotnik nearly bouncing off Pasternak. Callahan. Van Wingerden trying to get it in front. It goes off the stick of Pasternak, brought down by Schwartz, and the shot goes wide. Here's Mackey trying to knife her way through defenders. She rolls around to the near side, and a foul comes in. So Beth Mackey with a free position. This approaching 7.5 to go in the first. Mackey dodging around and firing a shot, but it's saved on the doorstep by Bersani.
Yeah, actually a really good move there. She was doubled and still found a way to get a crease, and Bersani sealed off the only opportunity that Mackey had to score on that play, that upper right-hand corner.
Here's Papard in transition, flips it in front for Humphrey. Humphrey with some space. And finds Arturi behind the cage. Here's Dehan. Dehan in front, trying to go to Antonelli. Humphrey is there to clean up possession. Arturi with a spin move. Works her way behind the cage. Now the Bucks are going to try to find a way to slow it down. A 3-goal lead, 6:45 to go in the first. You don't want to hurry up the tempo at this stage. Mooney. Nice move around defender. Oh, a good screen move. The shot, however, is saved by Kennedy Smith.
Yeah, how about both goalkeepers making big saves in the last couple minutes after how this game started? Both goaltenders have seemed to settle in. We saw a flurry of goals in the first 10 minutes and certainly not as many in the last couple.
What a rifle pass. Taylor Cooper, and then getting pummeled to the turf was Callan Smith. A hard foul committed by the Buccaneers, as we get one more look. Watch the pass. There's Smith. And
it's a little bit of a cross.
Yeah.
Shot goes wide.
Yep, coming off the restart. Kittatinny trying to cut into the 3-goal deficit. And the Cougs coming in at 7-9. Not guaranteed to finish at the 500 mark with a win today. Blair Academy, on the other hand, a win would put them one game over 500. Whistle and a foul. This is going to go against the Buccaneers, as one of the officials directs Karina Benanti closer to Callan Smith, who will have the ball on the whistle. Smith behind the cage, trotting to the left side. Loose ball on the near side from Catherine Merrill, number 21. That's for the Cougars of Kittatinny. A foul comes in, and it's going to go against Blair. Kittatinny off the restart. Oof. Heavy contact as Papard comes in to foul Callan Smith,
Yes.
and Papard draws a yellow card.
Yeah, you like the physical play from Papard. Definitely no intent there, but
Right.
you got to admire the gusto, if you will, of going in there and challenging the ball, make nothing easy for the opponent. If you're at Coach Ali Dowie, you're cool with that yellow card.
So Papard will take a seat for approximately 2 minutes. A good opportunity for Kittatinny. They're man up. Beginning at the 4:12 mark of the first. The clock has stopped, by the way. And so a free position shot coming up for Callan Smith after she draws a hard foul against Blair Academy. Callan Smith on the free position. There's an easy shot and a goal for Smith. That's her third of the afternoon. Toss out the hats. And it's a 6-4 game with 4:10 remaining in the first.
Yep, they foul by Papard. Gives a little momentum to Kittatinny, and Blair calls a timeout after this goal. Obviously, a little bit more strategy comes into play when you're down a player. So, Coach Dowie, Coach O'Neill.
Certainly making good use of this opportunity to try and give this team a breather late in the first. And we'll take a look at some of the last set of games for Blair Academy. And again,
Do I have this wrong?
you might. Oh my God! Yes, I think you do.
Yeah.
You might.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
I
have
think you're
the
missing Oak Knoll.
Oak Knoll. Yeah, these are wrong. The wrong scores. Oh man.
That's okay, my friend. But just to give the viewers an idea, Blair Academy has won 4 of their last 5 coming in after they began the season at 3-6. They're 4-1 here in May. Do the math. You've got a 7-7 overall record for Blair Academy. So again, a great way to come into this game as they try to finish on a good note.
Yeah, I knew I had it wrong when I saw some losses on there because I know that Blair's been playing really well recently.
Well, most of that was correct, except for the fact that Oak Knoll just wasn't on there to begin with. We'll see if we can get that correction. Again, a timeout with 4:10 remaining, and Kittatinny doing all they can to try and stay within reach. Callan Smith coming away with her third tally of the afternoon on a free position shot after she was fouled heavily by Caroline Papard. It's man up for the Cougars for the next 2 minutes of action.
You know what? I think I did have it right. It's just that last score was wrong, right? They did play Oak Knoll in
You did play Oak Knoll. Okay,
no,
I'm sorry.
They played Oak Knoll in the prep semis, and they did lose to Oak Knoll. Obviously,
Okay,
Oak Knoll
score
going
was
on to win the
incorrect.
prep
You're right.
finals. Yeah, so the
You're
score
right.
incorrect. The only thing that's incorrect is that last score against Moravian.
17-7.
Yeah, that was a
victory,
win.
should
That
be.
was a win there. So that's an oversight on my part. So that last loss is a win. So Blair Academy has certainly been playing much better recently. Then they, in the later season, they really have hit their stride as opposed to the beginning of the season, and that's what Coach Dowie said before the game.
And a great way for the Bucks to get ready, not just for next year, but even going beyond the 2018 season.
Yeah, and then the other point that you got to make, too, is it's only Ali Dowie's second year, right? So she's still
Right.
getting her feet wet as the coach, and 2 years in, she's started to really get the culture that she needs and the girls that she needs in this program and starting to build something. And I think she's very happy and content with where the program is and where she sees it moving in the future.
Coming out of the break, 4:10 remaining in the first. Coming off the draw, it's brought down by the Cougars. Taylor Cooper with the draw control. She comes in with just 8 on the year, trying to help her team fight back from behind.
Blair went down to Oak Knoll. They played Oak Knoll in the prep semis, and they liked how they played there. It's a tough Oak Knoll team, one of the best in the state of New Jersey, who just defeated Lawrenceville in the prep championship.
For the second year in a row.
Well, actually, last year it was Lawrenceville who
Oh,
won
that's
on a
right.
buzzer beater.
That's right.
Oak Knoll got a little retribution this year, but you're talking about some good teams, and Blair put up a good fight against them.
Oh, Casey Smith trying to get this one past Bersani, but the keeper out of New York City, Cleo Bersani, able to come away with a denial. So now the Buccaneers are trying to get rid of it as Nia Shaw brings it across midfield. This is Antonelli. 3 minutes remaining in the first. A 2-goal game. Blair's largest lead is 3. Kittatinny, their largest lead was 1-0. Antonelli. Mooney. Mooney on the turn, and she draws a foul inside the 8. Emily Mooney with a free position coming up with 2.5 remaining in the first period. Good opportunity for Blair Academy to extend their lead. And we should see Caroline Papard re-enter the game momentarily. It's a man up for Kittatinny. And did that go in? Yes, sir. It's a rare man down goal for Blair Academy as Emily Mooney scores on the free position.
Yeah, when you draw a foul, give yourself a good chance to shoot. Doesn't matter if you're a man down or not. And we take one more look at this finish. It's a little slow to close where the Cougars, and Mooney fires it in the top shelf.
So Blair Academy making it a 3-goal game yet again with 2:20 to go in the first. It's 7-4 Buccaneers. Callan Smith trying to come away with the draw, but not before Kit Antonelli has the final word. Mooney. Mooney in transition, and she draws a foul. 2 minutes remaining in the first period, and a free position coming up for Emily Mooney. Mooney, the ball was swiped out of her stick from behind. That was from Katie Albinski, number 26 for Kittatinny. Dehan. Humphrey. Pasternak. Pasternak with a little stutter step. Pasternak unable to get that ball across. Great save by Kennedy Smith. A second chance effort for Blair Academy. Dehan in front. Antonelli with the one-timer.
What a feed. Really threading the needle on this pass here as we get one more look. Antonelli will be camped out. Not much room for that pass to go through. It had to be just perfect. A little bit lower, it would have hit the stick of the defender, and a little bit higher, it would have gone over the stick. So really well done. Give a lot of credit on the assist.
Blair Academy now with a 4-goal lead. They've scored 4 of the last 5 goals overall. Callan Smith with possession for Kittatinny. Smith, did she step into the crease? She did. Callan Smith with a crease violation. Or is it?
Yeah, that looks
That's
like
an interesting call.
Well, it looks like they just called a foul. And just a free position here for Kittatinny.
No free position here as the Cougs try and make it a 3-goal game with less than 1 minute remaining in the first. Smith behind the cage. Callan Smith guarded by Karina Benanti for Blair. Callan Smith still with it. Here's Manser. Under 30 to play in the first. Cooper brings it back behind the cage. It's off the stick of Van Wingerden. And possession for Blair Academy with 16 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they're going to have to sprint up the field, but still time if they execute perfectly.
Bersani getting some pressure from behind, drops it off to Pasternak, and Pasternak will do all she can to get this one off. Papard, and that'll do it. Great start for the Blair Academy Buccaneers. An 8-4 halftime lead as Blair Academy looking to finish their season on a high note. We'll step aside and come back with the second half. You're watching live coverage of New Jersey High School lacrosse only on the Strive Network. Halftime score, Blair Academy 8, Kittatinny 4, as we look to wrap up the final 25 minutes of action in the 2017 campaign here at Blair Academy. Alongside Simon Rose, Matt Nelson here with you. And Simon, great balancing effort from Blair Academy early on, and a lot of that has to do with the passing of Emily Dehan, finding players on the doorstep so that they can finish.
Yeah, Dehan has been the quarterback of the team, if you will, in terms of setting things up. Early on in this game, Blair was really coming out hot, though it was Kittatinny, if you remember, who scored that first goal just like 20 seconds in. Blair ripped off 3 straight. We saw a flurry of goals in the first 10 minutes. It became a little bit more defensive the last 15 minutes or so of that first half. But I think if you're Blair Academy, you like what you see. You got some good saves out of Cleo Bersani. You got some good attacking. The chemistry seems to be there, and the finishing as well. We saw some great finishes by Blair Academy. Antonelli had a phenomenal goal. So we've seen some good stuff so far.
So both teams make their way back onto the field for one final time. Blair Academy with a win would improve to 8-7. If Kittatinny can find a way to claw their way from behind, they would improve to 8-9 to finish out the year.
Again, the first 10 minutes of the half, we will not have the clock counting down. There's 25 minutes on the official clock. Our scoreboard is a little bit malfunctioned, so it will only start counting at 15 minutes. So just a disclaimer there.
The primary draw specialists back at midfield. Callan Smith for Kittatinny at the very least. Emily Mooney basically between a 1 and 2 when it comes to draw control specialist will look to win the opening draw controller here in half number 2.
It's chilly outside, Matt. It said the weather app said it was 59 degrees. I don't believe it.
It feels much colder.
I mean, considering what it was like yesterday, the last couple of days, oh my goodness, it was summer.
Forecast high was 64.
We won't understand the weather, and obviously with the way things are with climate change and everything, things are getting more difficult and more difficult to predict.
Happy spring. As we digress, Blair Academy off the restart, going from left to right. This is Jordan Humphrey.
Only 2 more days of spring, correct? May 22nd, summer begins. Or is it June 22nd? It's June 22nd.
Wow.
June 22nd? Yeah. It's been a while since I've been in school.
Same here. It's been a long season,
I remembered it was the 22nd, though. That's the solstice.
There you go.
Summer solstice.
Half right, half wrong. What do you know? Simon and I are a funny bunch.
Matt, it's been a long season.
Yep. Touche.
And it's been the busiest week of a long season. Prep championship week here.
Here's Cooper. Mackey behind net. Mackey on the doorstep trying to get out of the double team. She loses the handle and a foul comes in. Just underway in the final 25-minute half. And a free position for Mackey. Mackey, a two-sport athlete, part of the tennis program at Kittatinny. And she rips it through for a goal. Beth Mackey with her 9th of the year. And Kittatinny makes it a 3-goal game.
Scored a couple of good-looking goals in the first half. And this is a good angle for a free position for a right-handed player. She gets the job done. So very similar to the first half where Kittatinny scored just 12 seconds in. They scored an early goal here, minute and a half in.
Free position goal for Mackey. Her career high coming on a couple of different occasions this year where she recorded a hat trick. Coming off the draw, the ball rolling over toward the Kittatinny sideline. Bobbled for a moment by Schwartz. And Schwartz finally comes down with the draw control. And she throws it away. Here's Papard. Caroline Papard racing left to right for Blair. Papard will trap behind the net. Excuse me. Pasternak, well atop the key. So an 8-5 game, just over 2 minutes gone by in the second. Blair Academy trying to respond to a free position goal from Beth Mackey just moments ago. Arturi. Papard committed to the Naval Academy for next year. I hear the Patriot League has become a very good conference, especially with the rise of Loyola. Here's Dehan finding Mooney in front, and Emily Mooney scores. Right on cue, Blair responding with a goal early here in the second. It's a 9-5 game.
Hey, you mentioned before, Dehan has been the assist specialist, and once again, patient, good cut to the middle, and an easy finish. As the hard work was done on getting free, and she was wide open for the pass.
That's Mooney's third, so bring out the hats for the sophomore out of Kittatinny, New Jersey. Mooney also a two-sport athlete, 5 goals and 5 assists with the soccer team this past fall. Nice draw control for Pasternak. She brings it down and works her way down the field. Pasternak trying to do it on her own and right on cue. Essie Pasternak with her first goal of the afternoon and her 31st of the year makes it a 10-5 game.
Hey, our Strive Spotlight player's got to make a big play at some point, right? And she wins the draw. And we watch her move here, and this is why they're excited to have her in the program for the next couple of years. Nice work by Pasternak.
Another soccer player, Pasternak out of Short Hills, New Jersey. Certainly making lacrosse her primary sport of choice. And trying to help this team over the 500 mark to finish off the season. Here's a draw control brought down by Schwartz. Check that, it's actually Callahan for Kittatinny. This is the largest lead for the Buccaneers. And Kittatinny trying to do all they can to come from behind in the latter stages. This is Mackey. Cooper. Cooper with a fake spin. She draws the double team, and the shot is saved by Bressani. Blair Academy coming off a 17-7 win midweek against Moravian Academy. As Antonelli fires a bullet. May have ricocheted off the bar. Blair Academy celebrating senior day in that game and getting a win over the Lions. Moravian based out of the Lehigh Valley region, just off Route 22. Pasternak draws a foul. We'll see if this is a free position.
Looks like it is.
Pasternak, who just scored a moment ago for Blair. Looking to go back-to-back. She dumps it out in front for Dehan. Dehan loses the handle, trying to scoop it off the turf. Dehan getting some help from behind. There's Mooney. Papard. Papard with some space. She dumps down in front and scores. Caroline Papard, her 25th goal of the season, makes it a 6-goal game, the largest lead of the afternoon.
This is a really advanced finish from Caroline Papard. You'll see her body. showing that she's going one way, and she dekes out the keeper. Watch this. See her left foot taking a step towards the middle as if she's going to take another step before she shoots it, but then she's able to get that goalkeeper to slide over, create some space, and score. That's well done by Caroline Papard.
That brings us to a timeout with 19:57 remaining here in the second, with your score, Blair Academy 11 and Kittatinny 5. Coming out of the Kittatinny timeout, Blair Academy on top by 6 with your score 11-5. 19:57 remaining in the second period. Alongside Simon Rose, Matt Nelson back here with you. The 2017 finale for Blair Academy Girls Lacrosse right here on the Strive Network. Kittatinny also taking part in their final game of the season. Kittatinny based out of Newton, New Jersey. About a 25 to 30 minute bus ride from Blairstown, New Jersey.
It's been an annual occurrence for these two squads to play against each other, though. Mm-hmm. It's a somewhat, in terms of New Jersey, somewhat remote area of the state. So some of these schools up here in the northern area, the programs know each other very well, as it's obviously very convenient for both schools to get to each other.
Yeah. Blair Academy actually played host to Kittatinny in last year's season finale with a 14-7 win. That game was actually featured right here in the Strive Network as Dehan gets a pass in front, but the shot is saved by Kennedy Smith. Now the Cougars trying to run away with it in transition. Callan Smith with the ball. Smith trying to find some space. Long pass intended for Casey Smith, no relation. And a foul comes in.
Sorry, I chuckled at you saying no relation. I'm just thinking about all of the Smiths in the world. And if you had to clarify whether any of them were related.
So there are 3 Smiths on the Kittatinny roster. The only 2 that are related are Callan and Kennedy. Casey is the only one not related.
All start with the same letter, though, huh?
Yes, sir. Another pass from Callan Smith intended for Casey Smith. Out of bounds. And it's going to be Blair Academy ball. Nia Shaw on the restart. Blair Academy has won the last 2 meetings over Kittatinny. Last time the Cougars took care of business as Papard gets it in front, and the bouncer finds its way through. Caroline Papard with back-to-back goals to make it a 12-7 contest.
Don't think there's much you can nitpick in terms of this performance of Blair Academy. They've been playing well since the opening whistle. Showing good work in the half field, and here in transitions showing their potency as well.
It's a 4-0 Buccaneers run dating back to the 22-30 mark. Mooney, Pasternak, and now back-to-back goals from Caroline Papard. We were talking about Kittatinny the last time they took care of business over Blair Academy. You have to go back to April 14th of 2014. Kittatinny with a 1-goal victory right here at Hampshire Field, 11-10, the final score. Papard trying to fight for the draw as Katie Callahan wins that battle. So a draw control for Kittatinny as Callahan, amongst the top 21 freshmen in the Garden State, courtesy of NJ.com, gets rid of it. Callahan with a little dodge. Mackey. Cooper. A little switch shown by the Cougars. Cooper on the right side. Cooper goes to Mackey behind the cage. Mackey draws the double team. Under 17 minutes remaining from Blairstown, New Jersey. Turnaround shot from Mackey goes wide. And they're going to say Cougars ball. Geneva Loft's pass ricocheted off the stick of a Buccaneer. And the eventual save made by Bersani. We mentioned the weather at the beginning of the broadcast, Simon. The sun is trying to peek out of the clouds. I see some blue skies over our heads.
Fancy that. Lucky us.
There we go.
Maybe the temperature will get up to 59 degrees as it's supposed to.
The scheduled high in Blairstown is 64. Then again, down by our neck of the woods, it's supposed to be 68. So how jealous are we of those central New Jersey folks? Cooper. Back to Callan Smith. Smith knifing her way through defenders, and she draws a foul. A flag comes in, and so Smith will have a free position here at the 15:30 mark. Smith. The doorstep. Another flag comes in. The shot goes off the stick of Bersani. Callan Smith falls to her knees. No whistle. Nearly stumbling once again. And a foul comes in inside the 8. Another free position opportunity for Callan Smith. From the top of the 8, Smith winds, fires, and it's a save for Bersani.
Under 15 minutes to go, so that scoreboard, that clock on the scoreboard, active.
Their academy in transition. Arturi has some space and fires it well over the bar.
I think we had a whistle, though. She was taking some contact as she let that one go, and here's a free position opportunity just right from the top.
Abby Arturi with a save for Kennedy Smith. Good look from Arturi as Smith with a half-court heave. It's batted down by Papard, and Papard comes away with a steal. And now Papard just throws it away well behind the cage, and it should be a possession for Kittatinny. Under 14 remaining from Hampshire Field. Another whistle.
Looks like the referees are discuss something here.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps who had possession, whether that was a shot, whether that was a pass. Because if it is a shot, the keeper was out of the net, so it's possible that Papard was looking cage.
Yeah,
and if that's the case, then it's Blair Academy ball. If not, then it's just a turnover, and Kittatinny's got it. So that might be what they're talking about.
It certainly looked like a clear shot attempt from Papard as she was trying to get it to her teammate, but based on the angle that I was coming from, it could be the case.
Well, if the referees aren't sure, we sure as heck aren't sure. But let's see what the decision they came to here.
Looks like the call will stand, and the Cougars will have it. Kennedy Smith with a fake heave. Here comes pressure from Emily Dehan. Nice job from Dehan to try and force the ball out of Smith's stick. Mooney comes away with a loose ball. That's a ground ball for Mooney. Dehan. Arturi. Antonelli. Pasternak. Papard. She has Alex Sipples, number 16, to her right. Instead goes to Mooney. Sipples checking in for the first time out of Sparta, New Jersey. Two-sport athlete, also part of Sarah O'Neill's field hockey team as Kennedy Smith picks up the loose ball inside the crease. O'Neill, the assistant for Blair Academy Girls Lacrosse. A heck of a job between her and Allison Dowie to coach both sports in field hockey and lacrosse. Those two have worked well together over the years. Little spin move from Albinski. Cooper retrieves it. Callan Smith loses the handle. And it's a ground ball for Caroline Papard. Blair Academy possession as Papard gets plummeled to the turf off camera. Antonelli trying to find Mooney from behind her. Mooney was coming into the picture. It's a ground ball for Callahan. Benanti trying to come away with it. That's Karina. Her sister Victoria, also part of the girls' lax team. Antonelli. Papard. 12-5 Blair. 11:35 and counting in the second. Loose ball behind the cage. Scooped up by Dehan. Gets it in front for Mooney. Kennedy Smith was out of the cage trying to come back in, but Mooney was the first to get to it. And Emily Mooney gets her second goal of this second period.
Aggressiveness can be an asset for a goalkeeper, but here it turned into a liability for Kittatinny Smith, as we see. A little bit too aggressive here. You've got to make sure you get that ball, and wisely Blair Academy went right to the cage after noticing the goalkeeper was out of position.
Fourth goal of the game for Mooney. It's a 5-0 run for Blair. That being said, it's the Buccaneers' first goal since the 1807 mark. So this coming at 11:28. Speaking of Mooney, the sophomore will take the draw, and Taylor Cooper will do the same for Kittatinny. It's a draw control for Mooney as the ball was batted around between herself and Papard. Mooney with a pass fake. Mooney losing the handle and gets it back. Now it's Dehan. Dehan. Back to Mooney. Mooney. Going up against Erin Douglas, who is committed to Sussex County Community College. Papard with a shot fake. The ball goes out of her stick. Good double team from Kittatinny before Antonelli picks it up and a foul comes in. Erin Douglas, the primary player for Kittatinny that runs the zone defense, which is what we've been seeing throughout the course of the afternoon, as Mooney's shot is wide, and Blair Academy will have possession. Dehan will have the honors. That's a little switch between Dehan and Mooney. Dehan still with it, behind the cage, trying to go to Mooney in front. Ball is free, and it's scooped up by the aforementioned Aaron Douglas. So Douglas with a ground ball as a whistle comes in. And Kittatinny possession on the restart. Manser. Van Wingerden. Van Wingerden gets it in front. A long pass corralled by Mackey. Mackey behind the cage. As we are under 9.5 to go in this Girls Lax season finale. Pass ricochets off the stick of Madison Nowotnik, and Blair Academy with the ball. Here's Benanti. Karina, that is. Karina with a little spin move. And she flips it over to Dehan. Antonelli. Antonelli's pass batted down by Tara Douglas. Loose ball again scooped up by Victoria Benanti. Here's Arturi. Again, great defense by Kittatinny. That's Aaron Douglas coming away with the caused turnover on the ground ball. And you've got to give a lot of credit to these Cougars. It's late in the game, but they are doing all they can to say, we want this victory. It's a 7-goal game. Make that an 8-goal game with about 8:15 remaining. Papard. A little bobble for the post-grad out of Garden City, New York. Number 11 is Paige Flannery, a senior out of Moorestown, New Jersey. And Sipples draws the foul.
Papard moving from the Garden City to the Garden State.
And then she'll be moving down to Baltimore. Or Annapolis, I should say, to play for the midshipmen of the Naval Academy. Here's Sipples on the free position. A flag comes in and a whistle as well.
Not too many gardens on the open sea.
Oh, man.
I'm glad I can make somebody laugh.
Sipples with a bouncer in their free position. And this one goes wide. Hey, man, at least New Jersey is the only state known for its gardens, at least as far as I'm aware of. Unless you know of some other states. Unless you know another state that's well known for its gardening.
No, but wouldn't you have it, there is another state with the word garden in their nickname. That's North Dakota, the Peace Garden State.
Ah, you would know since you used to live there.
I did spend some time out there, so it's not. I don't know that many random facts. The only reason I know it is because I did live there.
As we digress, Blair Academy on the restart, leading by 8. Arturi. Nice pass. Antonelli unable to come down with it. That was Pasternak trying to start the little transition for Blair Academy, or more or less the setup, if you would. Blair Academy 4-3 here at Hampshire Field. Kittatinny is 4-6. Most of their wins have come away from Newton, New Jersey, or at least their high school, that is. Under 6 to play from Blair Academy. And a free position for Nowotnik. Nowotnik with a rifle. It's blocked in front by Blair. And Nia Shaw comes away with the ball. A near interception from Catherine check that. It's actually Tara Douglas, excuse me.
Nia Shaw has been a really solid player for Blair Academy over the last couple of years. She has been on the field for really almost all of the girls lacrosse games for sure, but also in the fall. She's a very multi-talented athlete.
Shaw from nearby Hackettstown, New Jersey, also a mainstay on the field hockey program.
Yeah, Blair's got to feel pretty good about their field hockey programs and their girls lacrosse programs. When you got the two head coaches in Sarah O'Neill and Allie Dowie with such a good relationship with each other and have developed a good relationship with the girls as well, you know that chemistry carries over from the fall to the spring.
Yeah, when you match a couple of coaches together, and like you said, the communication, their knowledge of the game, certainly.
And their youth as well. They're two very young coaches, and
right.
You know, when you've got a young team, it helps those players to relate to your coaches.
Mackey, a foul comes in, as does a flag.
Both of them bringing great energy, and you can just tell by the way that Blair Academy has played how much fun that they're having. And you can tell by watching Allie Dowie and Sarah O'Neill coaching how much fun they have.
Free position for Beth Mackey, and she scores. That breaks a 5-0 run for Blair as the Cougars make it a 7-goal deficit with 3:51 remaining.
There are the two coaches. O'Neill on the left, Dowie on the right. Kind of a cool situation here when you've got the head coach and the assistant coach for one sport, and they just flip roles for the other sport, for field hockey.
I'm trying to think of the story, because if I recall correctly, 2 years ago, Blair had a different head coach when it came to girls lacrosse, and Sarah O'Neill was actually offered the job, but she declined and stayed as an assistant.
I mean, obviously she had her sights set on that field hockey program as well, and she's still involved with this girls lacrosse program, so she's sort of getting the best of both worlds.
Antonelli shot on the doorstep, blocked in front by Kennedy Smith. Loose ball, and it's brought down by the aforementioned Smith.
And again, the important thing is that you can really, really tell that those two young women enjoy coaching so much, and it really does translate over.
Callan Smith at the other end, a loose ball, player down for Blair, and a whistle comes in.
Allie Dowie, I was talking to her before the game. I said, "This is your last game. Are you excited to get a break, or are you unhappy that the season's ending?" And she was she's upset. She really loves coaching these girls, and she doesn't want the season to end.
I asked her the same question, and she said, "Heck no, I do not want this season to be over. I want to keep playing in the summer."
Yeah, considering that they've been playing so well recently, her team has finally hit their stride, and now the season's got to end.
Pasternak with a nice bouncer on the doorstep. Good feed from Arturi. And it's a 14-6 game.
I'll start this one very far back. Arturi makes a nice move, draws the double, and Pasternak camping out in front.
Second goal of the afternoon for Pasternak, and the assist for Arturi, just her third of the year for the Greenwich, Connecticut native.
I believe that's pronounced Greenwich.
And how do you know that?
I just know that.
You just know. Okay, I'll go with that. Greenwich. Oh, man. When you go to New England, you will find some very strange pronunciations for towns.
It's true.
I think in New Hampshire they pronounced It's Concord, not Concord.
Oh, yeah.
Unlike Concord, North Carolina.
Yeah, that. You can pronounce it a million different ways, and depending on who you ask, they'll get offended or not.
Here's Cooper. Kittatinny ball. Down by 8 with under 2 minutes remaining. Callan Smith trying to knife her way through defenders, and she gets fouled right on the doorstep. Good job by Smith to try and fight her way through traffic.
Clock stops at 1:46. We're under 2 minutes, so the clock does stop at these free positions now.
It also stops on every whistle. And right on cue, there's another foul.
Get my clicking button ready from this this manual clock here.
You best be prepared as Callan Smith rips a free position shot, and it bangs in. Callan Smith. That's her 4th goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, she's looked good here today. Good finishing. Starts it low, keeps it low.
.143 remaining here at Blair Academy, and the Buccaneers, who a year ago finished 5-12 overall, are going to have a nice summer vacation based on their efforts, not just from today, but throughout the course of the year, particularly during the month of May.
Yeah, well, you're talking about coming into this game 7-7 to be able to finish a game and say that you finished the season over 500. It's something to be proud of.
Oof. Callan Smith, I don't know how she got that ball off her stick, but she scores on the bottom side for back-to-back goals. That's 5 goals for Callan Smith.
Yeah, you got to admire the effort by Kittatinny. They are not going down without a fight here. And among 3 Blair Academy defenders, she still is able to beat the goaltender.
2 goals here in the second, 3 in the first. Do the math, that's 5, and it's down to a 6-goal game with 1:28 remaining. Whistle comes in following the draw as Mooney was going up against Smith. Callan, that is. And they'll do it again in midfield. Emily Mooney makes that look easy. It's a draw control for Mooney. Mooney in front for Dehan. Turnaround shot blocked in front by the Cougars. Now a double team coming. Arturi and Dehan are in there as they foul Kennedy Smith with 1:13 remaining.
Yeah, Blair is looking to finish the season on a high note. They are going right at goal.
Whew. Never say die, no matter what the score.
Well, even though, the win's in hand, but they know that they're not going to be playing any more lacrosse in a Blair Academy uniform for the next almost a year. So why not take advantage in the last couple of minutes here?
And some of these players might not be playing lacrosse anymore. Dehan is at one of them at the very least, as we get a turnover forced by the Buccaneers. This is Karina Benanti, who fights her way out of the double team and flips it to midfield. This is Sipples. A long pass brought down by Dehan. A loose ball, and it's taken away by the Cougars. Again, Dehan, a senior captain, certainly showing her prowess throughout the year. Mainly it'll be Kittatinny ball, Geneva Loft, number 8, the freshman on the restart. Loft flings the ball to midfield. Playing it on a hop is Cooper. Final 5 seconds from Blair Academy. After finishing last season 7 games under 500, the Buccaneers will finish their season over the 500 mark. Your final score, Blair 14 and Kittatinny 8, as the Buccaneers wrap up their season, winning their final 3 games of the year, as well as 5 of their last 6. A solid effort all around for the Blair Academy Buccaneers. Emily Mooney, Caroline Papard, Essie Pasternak, Emily Dehan. The list goes on, but certainly a total team effort for the Buccaneers this afternoon.
Yeah, good to see them finish on a high note. It's how you want to finish your season, a good performance all the way around, defensively, offensively. Everything seemed to be clicking in Blair Academy's favor. And
a lot of people to thank, starting with the coaches. Too many names to list, but from all the sports that we've covered, anything from baseball to basketball, field hockey, soccer, softball, you name it. All the coaches for all the hard work that they've done to help Simon, myself, and all the other broadcasters get ready for these games. Some of the administration from the athletics department, the equipment manager, Doc G, as he is referred to here at Blair Academy.
Doc always greeting you with a smile here on campus. One of the phenomenal personalities here at Blair Academy. Tammy Finlay is the administrative assistant. It's worth noting she is just retired. Yesterday was her last.
Really?
Yes, Tammy Finlay, the last day as the administrative assistant at Blair Academy. So a sad day to see her go. So phenomenal to us at the Strive Network over the last couple of years, and she has been a mainstay here in Blairstown. She's been in Blairstown since she was a young girl. So she has been here for a long time, a part of the Blair Academy community for a long time, but she has hung up the cleats and she's heading out.
Not easy to replace a mainstay here at Blair Academy, so all the best to Tammy Fidley on the next step of her journey. The assistant athletic director here at Blair Academy, Brian Antonelli, also the head wrestling coach, and preps to his daughter Kate on a phenomenal job, not only in lacrosse but also in field hockey. First year director of athletics, Paul, is it Clavel?
Yeah, Paul Clavel.
Yeah, Paul Clavel doing a nice job for bringing us back into Blair Academy so that we can showcase some of these athletes.
I mean, he did it for a first year athletic director. There's so much going on here at Blair Academy. So for him to step in and fill the shoes that Jim Stone left, he's done a phenomenal job, and he's really stepped in. And congratulations as well to his girls golf program, who won the state championship yesterday. He's also the girls head varsity golf coach, and they won that state championship over Lawrenceville yesterday. So congratulations to Mr. Clavel on a successful first year as athletic director, and many more to come, and as well as that state championship.
And again, all the coaches for all the information that they provided for Simon, myself, and everyone else involved here at the Strive Network. We want to thank everyone here at Strive for doing a solid job all season long, the broadcasters, the producers, those who have helped out on graphics, especially when we do football games, because those are not two-man bands when it comes to football. It takes a lot of people to make those productions possible. And last but not least, Mr. Simon Rose.
Oh, me?
Yes, you. On the job that you've done to help grow the Strive Network into what it is today. I know the winter was certainly not easy for everyone, but hopefully you're going to put this company in the right direction.
A lot of transitions happening. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to be at the helm of this for the last couple of years, and I look forward to continuing it on, growing it into something even more great. And it's been a phenomenal journey, Matt. Thank you to you for being a part of it, and
my pleasure.
It's been another great year, and I look forward to more for next year. So
looking forward to the 2017-18 campaign, if you would, here at Blair Academy as well as elsewhere throughout the Garden State.
I bet you nobody's even watching anymore, so we should probably go, right?
With that being said, your final score one more time. Blair Academy winning their girls lacrosse season finale over Kittatinny by a final of 14-8. For Simon Rose, I'm Matt Nelson. We will see you in September right here on the Strive Network.